Marcus Aurelius was born lucky in AD 121. He had the best teachers, a noble inheritance, and eventually the throne of an empire. Yet instead of becoming a tyrant, he became a philosopher king. Influenced by the Stoics, known for their obsession with virtue, moderation, and reason, he learned to improve himself and to stay in control even when he lost everything. He lived through plague, war, betrayal, and economic collapse. But his experience didn't break him, because his goal was not comfort, it was control of the mind. Today, modern Stoicism is becoming popular again, yet we ignore the financial chaos Marcus tried to protect himself from. And now that chaos is far more destructive. Because the system today is not just chaotic, it is built to keep you financially and psychologically off balance. The US has reached the highest personal debt levels in its history. Credit card interest rates are above 20%. Financial literacy is painfully low. And everything you use is designed to make you spend, compare, and become addicted to dopamine. The result? People who look wealthy on the outside but barely survive the month, and a financial cycle that produces no real wealth, only profits from society's emotional helplessness. This is why Stoicism is becoming revolutionary again. Stoicism is not about numbing your emotions, it's about not letting your emotions control you. The Stoics taught that we can't control external events, wars, disasters, economic crises, but we can control our attitude. Marcus always understood that death and poverty are natural, that desire feeds on pain, and that self-discipline is the foundation of freedom. So, what happens if we apply this today? You remember that the power is yours and money doesn't get to control you. You stop chasing status symbols. You don't panic during market crashes. You don't upgrade your phone just because a company tells you to. You realize that financial freedom comes not from having more, but from needing less, and you live accordingly. This is a direct rebellion against the modern economy. Because if people stop consuming, the machine stops. The global economy is built on credit, consumption, and ever-growing desire. But Marcus did exactly this kind of rebellion. He saw luxury not as a victory, but as a test. He believed comfort weakens us and that true wealth is something that cannot be taken from you. Today, we measure wealth by things we can buy, cars, houses. Marcus would call these illusions. He reminded us that real wealth remains even when these things disappear. But we live in a very emotional age. We treat abundance as normal and discomfort as a problem. For the Stoics, discomfort was a training ground. Marcus would deliberately challenge himself, sleeping on hard beds, skipping meals, reminding himself that pain is not the enemy. The enemy was dependency. So how do we apply this to financial life? Prepare for market changes. Rely on experience, not impulses. Grow stronger through simplicity, not stress. This is Stoic finance. And in a world struggling with economic crises, it may be the only financial philosophy that works. But if history teaches us anything, it's that hope is not a plan. Marcus never waited for someone to save him. He didn't blame the system. He started with the only things he could control: his mind, his habits, and his expectations. You don't need to be a financial expert to gain real freedom. You need confidence in yourself. What do you truly need? What are you afraid to lose and why? What are you chasing? And is it truly your desire? Most people never ask themselves these questions. They just play the game they were handed and get lost in the system's cycle. But you're different. You're here because you recognize something is wrong. You're beginning to see that the dreams you were sold only benefit others. Because in the end, financial freedom isn't about what you own, but about the inner strength you carry. Marcus Aurelius didn't have a credit card, but he was never a slave to desire. He mastered it. That is true wealth and true freedom. If this gave you a new perspective, don't forget to subscribe.